What if I told you that the very place where you sleep, where you rest your body and mind, could be quietly making you sick? Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But stick with me here, because I'm about to reveal a hidden truth that many of us overlook. Your bedroom, the place where you retreat for peace and recovery, could be sabotaging your sleep, your health, and even your energy. It's not the mattress, it's not the sheets, and it's not the pillow you've been cuddling for years. No, it's the things you can't see that might be quietly draining your well-being. Now I can almost hear you thinking, but my bedroom feels just fine. I sleep okay most nights. What's the problem? Well, as we grow older, our bodies become more sensitive. What used to be invisible or harmless can now have a significant impact on our health, especially in our golden years. And that's where the Buddha's teachings can guide us. In Buddhism, we learn that true wisdom lies in awareness. The practice of mindfulness calls us to pay attention to the subtle things, the small changes, the hidden habits, and the things we often take for granted. We're often unaware of how our environment affects our health until it's too late. So, let's bring awareness to the overlooked space that most of us spend over a third of our lives in our bedrooms. Let's dive into what might be lurking in the shadows and how you can transform your bedroom into the peaceful sanctuary it's meant to be. The hidden dangers in your bedroom. It's often said that our home is our sanctuary, a place where we can escape from the demands and chaos of the outside world. But what if I told you that within the four walls of your sanctuary, there might be hidden dangers quietly undermining your peace and health? Your bedroom, the space where you retreat to sleep, heal, and recharge, could actually be doing more harm than good if we're not mindful of the unseen forces at play. As we age, our sensitivity to our surroundings increases, and this is where the wisdom of Buddhist teachings can guide us. The Buddha often spoke about the importance of mindfulness, of being truly aware of our environment and how it affects our inner state. But let's be honest, it's easy to overlook the subtle, hidden elements in our spaces. We go about our daily lives, and little by little, we forget how these unnoticed factors can impact us. And in our bedrooms, this neglect could be making us sick, both physically and mentally. Let's reflect on this through a simple yet powerful Buddhist parable. There's a Buddhist story that tells of a young monk who journeyed to a remote village. When he arrived, he noticed that the river near the village appeared calm. But when he looked closely, he saw the water was muddy, full of hidden debris, and stagnant. "Why does this river look so still, yet the water is not clear?" he asked the village elder. The elder smiled and said, "At first glance, the water seems calm, but it's filled with particles that are invisible to the eye. The stillness you see is a result of its neglect." The monk realized that the same applies to the mind. Just as the stagnant river's murkiness is hidden beneath the surface, so too are the subtle forces in our bedroom that we fail to notice. These hidden dangers, like dust, allergens, and chemicals, may seem harmless at first, but over time, they cloud our health and well-being. They slowly infiltrate our space, affecting our sleep and our energy, just like the invisible particles in the river. So, what are these hidden dangers in your bedroom? First, think of the dust that builds up over time, especially in places we don't usually clean, like under the bed, on the nightstand, or on the shelves. Dust isn't just an unsightly nuisance, it's a breeding ground for dust mites, bacteria, and mold, all of which can trigger allergies, respiratory problems, and fatigue. When we sleep, we spend hours breathing in this stale air, and it affects our ability to fully rest and rejuvenate. In Buddhist teachings, we are often reminded of the impermanence of life, the fleeting nature of everything around us. The Buddha encouraged us to be mindful and not to cling to things, and this includes the things that are invisible to the eye, but have a lasting effect on our well-being. Our bedroom should not be a place where neglect leads to unseen harm. It should be a place where we cultivate an environment that nurtures us physically, mentally, and spiritually. So, how can we apply Buddhist wisdom to transform this space? We begin by embracing right action, the conscious effort to make small yet meaningful changes in our environment. Just as a monk carefully clears the muddy water to restore its clarity, we too can clear the air and the space around us. Start with small steps. Open the windows, allow the sunlight in, and give your room a deep clean. Let go of things that no longer serve you and make space for the peace and tranquility that should naturally reside in your bedroom. It may be a small act, but the impact is profound. When we approach our bedroom with mindfulness, with an awareness of the subtle forces at play, we begin to create a healing environment, a place that supports not just our body's need for rest, but also our mind's need for peace and rejuvenation. Reflect on this. How often do we let things accumulate, both physically and mentally, without realizing the effect they're having on our lives? The Buddhist concept of mindfulness invites us to pause, to see with clearer eyes, and to take action in ways that will bring peace and health. By doing so, we create not just a physical sanctuary, but a sacred space where healing happens, both on the outside and within. Now that we've explored the hidden dangers in our bedroom, the next step is to dive into the simple changes we can make. So take a moment to reflect. Is your bedroom really serving you, or has it become a silent source of stress and discomfort? Let's take this first step together, clearing out what no longer serves us and embracing a space that nurtures our well-being. Old pillows, the silent enemies. Think about the last time you purchased a new pillow. It might have been a year, or even 5 years ago. Over time, a pillow becomes like an old friend, soft, familiar, and comforting. It cradles your head and neck as you drift into sleep, and you probably never stop to think about what might be lurking inside it. But just like the stagnant river that appears calm, yet is filled with hidden debris, your pillow might be harboring invisible dangers that are slowly taking a toll on your health. You see, as we age, our immune systems become more sensitive, and our bodies require extra care. It's not enough to just sleep well. The quality of the environment we sleep in, our pillow, for instance, can greatly affect the quality of our rest and health. Over time, pillows accumulate more than just dust. They become a breeding ground for dust mites, bacteria, mold, and even fungi. These microscopic creatures thrive in the warmth and moisture that come from our skin, sweat, and the oils we shed as we sleep. There's a story in Buddhist teachings about a monk who spent many years in meditation. One day, his master asked him, "How do you care for your body as you meditate?" The monk replied, "I sleep on a simple mat, without any luxury." His master nodded, but then added, "When you lay down, make sure your pillow is clean, for in it you rest not just your head, but your thoughts and dreams." This profound lesson teaches us that everything we interact with in our lives, especially something as intimate as our pillow, holds significance. It's not just about the material object, but about what it represents in our well-being. Just as the monk cleansed his body and mind, we too must be mindful of what we lay our heads on each night. Your pillow might be a silent enemy, working against you as you sleep. It's not just the physical discomfort that comes from a flattened, worn-out pillow. It's the unseen harm that it can cause to your respiratory system, your skin, and even your mental clarity. Have you ever woken up feeling congested, with a scratchy throat or a headache? Maybe you've noticed your skin breaking out, or even experiencing fatigue despite sleeping for hours. These could all be signs that your pillow is harboring dust mites, mold, or bacteria that are triggering allergic reactions, leaving you with that dreaded feeling of being less rested, despite your efforts. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the key to understanding what's hidden in our lives. Often we are unaware of how small things, like the pillow we sleep on, can impact our overall well-being. However, as we become more mindful, we begin to notice the things that affect us, even in the smallest ways. By applying mindfulness, we become aware of what's no longer serving us and what needs to be replaced. So what's the solution? Buddhist teachings encourage us to embrace impermanence and let go of what no longer serves us. Your pillow, like all things, is impermanent. It has served its time, but now it's time to let it go. If your pillow is more than 2 years old, it's likely become a breeding ground for allergens and bacteria. It's time to replace it with one that supports not only your neck and head, but also your health. When choosing a new pillow, look for hypoallergenic materials, natural down alternatives, latex or memory foam that are designed to resist dust mites, bacteria, and mold. These materials provide better support and healthier rest. And here's a practical piece of advice. Always use a pillow protector. It acts as a barrier against dust, sweat, and allergens, ensuring that your pillow remains clean and supportive for longer. By following the teachings of mindfulness and right action, you can make small changes, such as investing in a new pillow and taking care of it, that will significantly improve the quality of your sleep and health. As you reflect on this, consider your own pillow. Is it time to replace it? Is it supporting you, or is it silently working against you? In the process of mindfulness, we not only care for our external environment, but also for our inner peace and well-being. And as we make these mindful choices, we can restore balance and harmony to our lives. Clutter under the bed. The hidden weight on your mind. You've heard the saying, out of sight, out of mind. But in the case of what's hidden beneath your bed, this couldn't be further from the truth. That seemingly harmless space under your bed, filled with old boxes, forgotten shoes, and items you no longer need, can actually have a more profound effect on your well-being than you might think. Just as clutter clouds our thoughts and emotions, the clutter in our physical space can weigh us down in ways we often don't realize. When we age, our bodies become more attuned to our surroundings. What once seemed insignificant, the things we store under our bed or the dust that settles there, can now create an environment that's both physically and mentally draining. In Buddhist teachings, there's a concept known as right effort, the conscious action to improve one's environment and internal state. This doesn't just apply to our thoughts and intentions, but also to the physical spaces around us. Our external world is a reflection of our internal world, and clutter can create an overwhelming mental state that prevents us from fully resting and rejuvenating. In one Buddhist parable, there was a monk who lived in a small hut, deep in the forest. His living space was always clean and organized, with everything in its place. One day, a young monk asked him, "Why do you keep your space so neat and ordered?" The older monk responded with a smile, "When I tidy my space, I tidy my mind. When my surroundings are clear, my thoughts can flow freely. Just as a stream must be cleared of debris to flow smoothly, so too must my mind be clear for peace to enter." This story serves as a powerful reminder that our physical environment is not separate from our mental state. The clutter under our bed, though hidden from view, affects our peace and clarity. Just as the monk knew that a tidy space brings mental clarity, we too can benefit from clearing out the clutter in our lives, both physically and mentally. When was the last time you took a good look under your bed? The space we often neglect, the forgotten storage boxes, the old magazines, the random items we shove away, becomes a breeding ground for dust, mold, and allergens. As you sleep, The air you breathe rises from this space, and you unknowingly inhale all the stale, musty air that's been trapped under there for months, if not years. Over time, this can lead to allergies, sinus congestion, and even fatigue, no matter how many hours you sleep. But it's not just about the physical effects. Clutter has a profound psychological impact. The Buddha taught us to be mindful of our thoughts and surroundings because they are intricately linked. When our physical space is cluttered, our mind is often cluttered as well. We may not consciously acknowledge it, but a messy, disorganized room can leave us feeling anxious, uneasy, and unable to fully relax. Imagine this. You walk into a room filled with clutter, and almost immediately your body responds. You feel tense. You feel the weight of the mess around you. Now think about your bedroom. When it's full of old things under the bed, your subconscious mind registers this mess, and it creates a feeling of unease, even if you don't consciously recognize it. This unease prevents you from fully entering a state of relaxation, which is essential for healing and restful sleep. So, what can we do to create a more peaceful, rejuvenating environment? The solution is simple yet transformative. Clear out the clutter. Take time to go under your bed, pull out those forgotten items, and decide what no longer serves you. It's not just about cleaning, it's about making space for peace and healing. As you clear out the physical clutter, also take a moment to reflect on the mental clutter you may be carrying. Just as you make your bed a clean and peaceful space, consider the thoughts and emotions you need to let go of. Perhaps it's time to release old grudges, fears, or anxieties that weigh you down. As the Buddha teaches, letting go is an essential part of finding peace. When we release what no longer serves us, whether it's physical possessions or mental baggage, we make room for healing and growth. Reflect on your own bedroom. Is it time to clear out the clutter? What items have you been holding on to, both physically and emotionally, that no longer serve you? By practicing mindfulness and taking right effort, you create a space that not only nurtures your body, but also supports your mental and spiritual well-being. This simple act of clearing out the clutter can bring profound peace into your life and make your bedroom a true sanctuary for rest, healing, and clarity. Scented candles and air fresheners. What's in the air you breathe? There's something so comforting about walking into a room that smells fresh and inviting, a scent that brings to mind lavender fields or warm vanilla. Many of us turn to scented candles, plug in air fresheners, or sprays to create a peaceful, fragrant environment in our bedrooms. After all, who wouldn't want a space that smells as soothing as it feels? But here's the truth, that many of us may overlook those lovely scents, though they may seem harmless, could be harming your health and your well-being. In Buddhist philosophy, we are taught to be mindful of the senses. Every sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell we experience has an effect on our mind and body. When we inhale artificial fragrances or chemical-laden air fresheners, we may be unwittingly creating an environment that disrupts our health rather than enhances it. The Buddha emphasized the importance of living in harmony with the natural world, and this includes the air we breathe and the things we introduce into our spaces. In a Buddhist tale, a monk once made an offering of fragrant flowers to the Buddha. The monk had carefully chosen the most beautiful flowers and placed them in a vase, but as time passed, the fragrance of the flowers began to fade. The monk grew frustrated and sought advice from his teacher. His teacher, smiling, explained, "True fragrance comes not from what is given, but from the purity of the mind. Just as the flower's scent fades, so too does the fleeting nature of all things we hold dear. Seek the fragrance that never fades, the fragrance of a clear, peaceful mind." This story reminds us that while we may enjoy the fleeting pleasures of artificial fragrances, they are temporary and can often cloud our judgment and well-being. The true fragrance, the one that lingers in our lives, comes from mindfulness and purity. When we use chemical air fresheners or scented candles, we are temporarily masking the true scent of the environment, often with chemicals that disrupt the natural harmony of our space. Many air fresheners, candles and sprays are laden with volatile organic compounds, VOCs, chemicals that can irritate your lungs, cause headaches, and even disrupt your hormones. These chemicals do more than just make your room smell nice. They seep into your furniture, your pillows, and your blankets, lingering long after the scent fades. And if you have asthma or allergies, these chemicals can exacerbate your symptoms, leaving you feeling groggy, fatigued, or even congested when you wake up. This is where Buddhist wisdom can guide us again. The Buddha taught us to pay attention to what enters our lives, to question the motives behind the things we surround ourselves with. If a product, no matter how comforting it may seem, is causing harm, it's time to reconsider. The air we breathe in our bedrooms should be pure, not tainted by artificial substances. When we fill our rooms with natural fragrances, we invite harmony, just as the Buddha encouraged us to seek inner peace. So, how can we apply Buddhist wisdom in this situation? It starts with right living, making choices that support our health and well-being, in harmony with the environment. Rather than filling the air with synthetic fragrances, consider natural alternatives. Essential oils, for example, offer a natural and soothing way to fill your room with fragrance. Lavender, eucalyptus, and peppermint are not only pleasant scents, but they also have healing properties that can help you relax, clear your mind, and breathe easier. These essential oils help calm the mind and body, inviting a deeper state of rest. Additionally, consider using natural beeswax or soy candles instead of traditional scented candles. These candles burn cleaner, without the harmful chemicals, and can still offer the same warm, soothing ambiance you desire in your bedroom. Even better, why not bring a touch of nature into your space? Air-purifying plants like aloe vera, snake plants, and peace lilies not only beautify your room but also purify the air. These plants absorb toxins and release oxygen, ensuring that the air you breathe while you sleep is clean and restorative. The Buddha always encouraged us to live in harmony with nature, and bringing natural elements into our bedroom is one simple but powerful way to honor that teaching. Reflect on your own bedroom environment. Are the scents in your space truly nurturing you, or are they masking deeper issues? The air we breathe affects our mind and body more than we realize. By choosing natural healing fragrances and embracing the pure, fresh air of nature, we can create an environment that supports our well-being and promotes restful sleep. This shift towards natural scents isn't just about improving air quality. It's about aligning your physical space with the deeper, more enduring fragrance of peace and mindfulness. When we surround ourselves with what's pure and natural, we invite true tranquility into our lives. Heavy dark curtains, blocking more than just light. There's a feeling of comfort when we're in a dark room, isn't there? It's as if the darkness wraps us in a cocoon, keeping us safe and secure. Many of us choose thick, heavy curtains for our bedrooms, often thinking that they'll give us the deepest, most undisturbed sleep by blocking out all external light. And yes, while blackout curtains can certainly help you fall asleep faster by creating that perfect dark space, there's something deeper to consider, something that goes beyond mere convenience. Could these curtains be keeping you tired, sluggish, and groggy long after the sun has risen? In Buddhist teachings, the concept of balance is vital. Right balance means understanding how to harmonize the forces of life rather than shutting them out completely. And this is where the lessons of nature can teach us a powerful truth. Our bodies are designed to wake with the rising sun, and natural light has a profound effect on our mental clarity and energy. While it's tempting to block out every trace of light for a perfect night's sleep, doing so may be disrupting our body's natural rhythm and the delicate balance of our sleep cycle. In a story passed down through generations, there was a monk who meditated every day in a small, dimly lit room. The monk believed that darkness was necessary for deeper concentration, so he kept the room as dark as possible, even during the day. One morning, an elder monk visited him and noticed the lack of light. The elder monk asked, "Why do you keep your room so dark? The light of the sun can be a guide, just as your inner light is." The younger monk, puzzled, replied, "But the darkness helps me focus on my thoughts." The elder monk smiled and said, "The light outside will guide you just as your inner light guides you. You cannot grow your mind in the shadows. Let the morning sun in and let it nurture your wisdom." This story reflects a deeper truth. While darkness is necessary for rest and reflection, light is just as crucial for growth, clarity, and energy. The natural light of the morning serves as a gentle reminder that we must awaken to life, not remain in the shadows of sleep forever. Our bodies are attuned to the rhythm of the sun. By blocking out the light completely with heavy curtains, we may be stalling the natural awakening of our minds and bodies. As we grow older, we often experience disrupted sleep cycles. Our bodies may find it harder to wake up naturally, and we may feel groggy or disoriented, even after a full night's sleep. This is where natural light comes in. The Buddha often spoke of the importance of understanding the natural flow of life. Right understanding means recognizing the rhythm of the world around us and aligning ourselves with it. The natural flow of day and night, light and darkness, is one of these rhythms. When we block out sunlight entirely with heavy curtains, we disrupt our body's ability to naturally sync with this rhythm. The light of the morning sends signals to our brain that it's time to stop producing melatonin, the hormone that makes us sleepy, and start producing serotonin, which boosts our mood, energy, and mental clarity. Without this morning light, our bodies can remain stuck in a sleep mode for longer than necessary, leading to that sluggish, tired feeling that often lingers throughout the day. Moreover, when our bedroom remains dark, we miss out on the profound psychological benefits of sunlight. Sunlight helps regulate our circadian rhythm, which is responsible for our sleep-wake cycles. When we get natural light in the morning, it helps reset this cycle, making it easier for us to feel awake and alert throughout the day. As we age, this natural boost is even more crucial for our health and well-being. So, what can we do to restore balance in our bedroom? The Buddha taught that balance doesn't come from extremes. It comes from finding harmony in every aspect of life. Instead of completely blocking out the light with heavy curtains, consider a more balanced approach. You don't have to get rid of your blackout curtains altogether, but it's essential to let natural light into your room in the morning. Even just 15 to 20 minutes of morning sunlight can help reset your internal clock and improve your mood, energy, and mental clarity for the entire day. If you're still seeking privacy and darkness at night, consider switching to light filtering curtains. These allow some sunlight to pass through while still providing the privacy you need. This way, you can enjoy a peaceful, restful sleep at night, but also allow your body to wake up naturally with the light of the day. Additionally, don't forget the importance of right airflow. Just as natural light is essential, so is the circulation of fresh air. The air in your bedroom should be light and clean, not stagnant. Open a window when you can, or consider running a fan to help keep the air circulating. The Buddha often spoke of the importance of maintaining clarity and openness, and this applies to the air we breathe as much as to our thoughts. Reflect on this. How often do we keep ourselves in the shadows, not just physically but mentally? What would it feel like to let the natural light in, both in your room and in your mind? The natural rhythm of light and dark is part of the flow of life. By aligning our bedroom with this natural flow, we can invite clarity, energy, and a deeper sense of well-being into our lives. When you're ready to transition to a healthier, more balanced space, consider how small changes, like letting the morning light into your bedroom, can make a big difference. Your body, mind, and spirit are all connected, and aligning them with the natural world around you is one of the simplest yet most profound ways to restore peace and vitality. As we've seen today, creating a truly restful space isn't just about having a cozy bed. It's about transforming your bedroom into a sanctuary that supports your health and well-being. By making simple yet impactful changes, like replacing old pillows that harbor allergens, clearing away the hidden clutter beneath your bed, and choosing natural air purifiers instead of chemical-laden air fresheners, you can make a world of difference in how you feel each morning. Remember, your bedroom is much more than a place to sleep. It's where your body restores, your mind finds clarity, and your energy regenerates. Treat it with the respect it deserves, because when we nurture our environments, we nurture ourselves. Now, take a moment to reflect. What small change can you make today to create a healthier, more peaceful space for yourself? Is it time to let go of that old pillow, or perhaps clear out some clutter that's been weighing you down without you even realizing it? The journey to better sleep and well-being begins with awareness and a willingness to transform the smallest parts of our lives. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Quiet Wisdom. If today's video inspired you to make your bedroom a more healing space, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. We have much more wisdom to share with you on how Buddhist teachings can bring peace, balance, and mindfulness into your everyday life. Until next time, may your nights be filled with restful sleep, your mornings with renewed energy, and your spirit with peace. Take care, and remember, every small step toward a mindful life leads to a greater sense of well-being.